Hello and welcome back to the Getting Started series. My name is Gordon Donovan from FTC Team 8372, and today I will be going over how to set up phones from the ground up, including settings and configuration.
So before we get into how to set up your phone for the first time, we're quickly going to go over what the legal phones are in FTC. There's the ZTE Speed phone, the Motorola G2, G3, and G4, the Google Nexus 5, and the Samsung Galaxy S5. Now, each of these phones have very different cosmetics, so my phone is the Motorola G4, so it may look a little different from your phone. However, everything should be in relatively the same space, and if not, you can look up online how to get to a certain setting if needed. So the first thing you're going to want to do is swipe down from your home screen, and you will see either a little gear in the top right corner, or you'll have to swipe down again. Now, what you're going to want to do here is you're going to click on the little gear, and then you're going to scroll all the way down, and then go to About Phone. So what you're going to do here is you're going to find the build number, and you're going to click it 7 times. Now, for me, I am already a developer. I've already set up this option, but you will click the build number 7 times, and it will activate your developer options. Now, in developer options, you exit out of About Phone, go into developer options, and you can scroll down to USB debugging. Now, turn that on and click OK, and then leave developer options. There are a lot of very complex options in here, and if you change one of them the wrong way, it may really mess up your phone. So just leave them unless you really know what you're doing. Next, we'll go over Wi-Fi settings. So scroll back up, go into Wi-Fi. There should be 3 dots or a More page, and go into Advanced, and just find the Wi-Fi directory. And then in here, there will be an option to configure your device or rename it. Now, FTC requires you to name your phones in a specific way. So your team number, dash a letter designation, dash RC or DS. So for us, it's 8372, C, and then RC. So the RC and DS stand for Robot Controller and Driver Station, respectively. So if the phone will be on your robot, you call it the RC, and if your phone will be plugged into gamepads with you while you're running it, call it the DS. So just type that in, click Save, and now you're FTC approved in terms of naming conventions. Finally, we're going to go over how to set up the basic options. So swipe down, you might either have to swipe down again or click a little arrow in the top right, and you will see all of these different options. Now, all of these options should be off except for Wi-Fi and airplane mode. Now, airplane mode will automatically turn off Wi-Fi, so you should turn on airplane mode and then Wi-Fi back on. And then everything else is just saving power, and make sure that definitely you have your Bluetooth off because that can mess up other people at tournaments. So the next part of setting up your phone is downloading your respective app. So first you'll need to connect to the Wi-Fi, or any Wi-Fi really, and then go into your Play Store and type in either FTC Robot Controller or FTC Driver Station, depending on which phone you're on. This is our robot controller, so I'll be installing that. None of the accesses will mess up your phone, so you can just click Accept, and then it will start downloading the app. Now, once it is done downloading, you'll need to open the app. So find the app either in your tray or on the home screen and click on it. So this is the Robot Controller app. So in the top left corner, you have your name of your phone. On the red bar, you have your active configuration file. We'll get to that. Then your network, your robot status, and your op mode. So in the top right corner, you will see the 3 dots, and this gives you a multitude of options to pick from. So in settings, you can change the name very easily, and advanced settings, you probably shouldn't get into those, and the logs. Now these can be really useful if you're putting certain telemetries into your phone, but otherwise they won't be very useful. Otherwise, the most important thing on here is your Configure Robot button. Now, configuration files are a very special thing. Basically, these files allow your phone to know where your motors are because they don't automatically detect motors and servos and sensors. You have to put them into these configuration files. So let's say I'm plugged into a modern robotics electronic system. So I would go new, I would hit scan, and these three modules would show up, whatever I have plugged into my CPDM. So I have a motor controller plugged in, a device interface module, and a servo controller. And in each of these, there are a certain amount of ports. So motor controller, device interface module has multiple, and servo controller. Now what this does is you will use these names later in your program, so make sure that they are memorable names. And you have to do this for any sort of different wiring setup you have. So adding motors, taking away motors, adding basically anything, you'll have to make a new configuration file for it. So once you've made it, hit save, enter in a recognizable name, not something incoherent or anything like that. So like MR for Modern Robotics. Something real quick, Rev Robotics will look a little different. If you scan with a Rev Robotics hub plugged in or two, you will get an expansion hub portal. If you have two Rev Robotics daisy chained together, you'll get two expansion hubs in the portal, but we just have one here, so that's all. And then you will have all of the motors, sensors, servos, and all of that you would need normally. So for the driver station setup, what you'll need to do is go into the Play Store, retry, and you'll just go into FTC driver station. This will be the same setup as the last one. You just hit install, accept, and it should download quickly. So once your driver station is installed, you click the tray and then open up your driver station. So this is our other driver station phone, and what you'll see if you have anything connected is here you will see the status of your network. The ping, if it's like in 3 or 4 digits, you should try and debug that out. Let's look up some tutorials on how to do that. This is your robot controller's phone battery. This is your actual battery that is plugged into your core power distribution module or your Rev Robotics module. And then this is the battery of the driver station itself. So each of those are very important. So over here we have one arrow that is for the drop-down menu for Teleop, and this is the drop-down menu for autonomous. So when you program your robots, you will identify programs as either a Teleop program or an autonomous program, and that will put them in their respective areas. So in the top right, you can see we have a few settings. Connect with robot. So currently our other phone is not on. However, here you will be able to pair with certain phones and connect to them directly. If you are not able to see your other phone, turn the filter Wi-Fi devices off. What the filter Wi-Fi devices does is it looks at your name and does its best to match you with the other phone that would match that name. Now this doesn't always work, so just if it's not finding it, just click it off, turn it off.